Allowing myself to rest more and not work as much.
To not work more
Yeah.
and get more rest. Is rest what you want, or what do you want to do? What are some of the things?
I mean, physically, I think I need to, and mentally too. I just then
And what's rest for you?
rest, opposite of working.
Mhm. And what would you do if it's the opposite of working? You mean no sewing,
Not,
no
yeah, not,
no thinking of business ideas, no.
yeah, just be like simply lay down on the couch with a book or a nap, or even going to bed at night on time is a problem for me too, because there's like one more thing, let me take care of one more thing, and then it's 2 o'clock in the morning again. And when I stop, I get antsy, and then I feel guilty, and then I feel like I'm just wasting time, but there is not much left. This is what I feel like. I guess it's with the age too.
Okay, so you get antsy, you get guilty, and you're wasting time. And what about age? Because now you're in the prime. You're just starting another
I
phase.
I feel I feel like if I'm just be slacking, I won't have enough time to finish everything I need to. I feel
And what?
guilty.
Uh-huh.
By calculations, this is my last human incarnation. You know, I'm supposed to finish everything. I didn't. I will
Okay.
have another chance.
Okay. And I'm curious, what is it that if you were to have a list, what list would that be of things that you want to do or things that in this incarnation?
Well, it's nothing. It's not. Uh, I don't have a specific list. I just feel
Mhm.
like the ideas, the urges are coming. I need to write this book. I need to teach that. It's like I have,
So your soul, through your soul, you get this
yeah,
urgency of
I
things.
feel like just unloading, unpacking information, and I need to pass it on.
Okay,
This is what I feel.
very good. So, okay, we're going to check. It says, okay, align yourself to work less and rest more. Correct? Let's see what the cards have to say because, ooh, there's one that came out, the magician. So this is the manifestation. What else? So we see here manifestation. So it's be clear on what it is that you want to bring forward. That's what I got. So what do you get, Guzalia, when you see this card? And seeing it from the hat of just Guzalia, not the teacher.
It's all this for the instant. As soon as you showed it to me, instant in my head. It's all in
Mhm.
your head. It's all in your hands. Equals. It's all your own damn fault.
So it's all in your head, it's all your damn fault. And balance. Okay, so for some reason, I'm going into my eye went into over the head. I know it's infinity for some, but for me, the first thing that was balance up in the crown. Okay. And then what I heard was the cup, you have the power and you know it. And also, I got, I'm hearing more things as I'm seeing the card, patience. And then there's a sense that I'm feeling of a hurry, being in a hurry. So what is that feeling of being in a hurry? Just out of curiosity,
Like
because
you
I don't.
showed me the cup right now, and you said
Uh-huh.
it's you have got the power, and I
Uh-huh.
always had this sense like, well, it's not mine. I'm just a vessel.
Correct. And the vessels of the
It's not
power.
mine. Whatever I have is not mine. It doesn't belong to me. And now when you said it, like, no, it is mine. I get to decide what to do with it.
Correct.
If I
And
decide
so,
to leave some to myself and take it away, it's my right.
And that's correct. And we all come with purpose. Like we all come with purpose. Some people follow it through, some don't. And you've already, I mean, if you look back at your track, right? The past is like little dots that you've left in the past. And if you connect all those dots together, you get to the present moment of that path. And if you look back in recollection, you've done a lot. You've come a long way, and you've already put forth a lot of that information that you set out to do. Or you were in the circumstances that led you to evolve and get all this power and all this information and all this channeling that's come through. Now, I'm hearing urgency, and I'm going, but well, today I'm hearing a lot. The urgency. What is the urgency for you? I mean, I know you told me that you want to get a lot of things out
I'm
that you
also
feel that,
watching people die left and right. I
ah,
mean, close to me people.
okay, okay. And what does that make you feel when you're seeing and you're all these people are dying? What's the feeling for you there? Just out
The
of
time
curiosity.
pressure.
The time pressure. Okay. And so being that because you've worked in this field, right? You know that everything that we get out and how we get it out is perfectly orchestrated. So everything that comes out and everything that is meant to come out will come out because you're organically doing it. But what I'm saying with that is, I think there's also divine orchestration to when our time of passing or of going is meant to be. And with that being said, whatever you get out through what I sense is what you're supposed to get out because you're doing it already. What do you feel about that? What are you thinking about that?
When you said orchestrated by the divine, like maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's not even I that put the pressure on myself. It's the divine. Somebody's kicking my behind. Like hurry up, Guzalia.
Mm-hmm.
No time to rest.
Mm-hmm.
Do more.
Okay. But even if the divine is giving you that urgency, with urgency, you could still organize yourself to get things out without necessarily, again, this is popping out a lot for me. Balance, balance, balance. Okay. And you will get everything out that needs to get out. That's what I heard too. As I'm seeing this card. Is there anything else that is significant to you as you see this card? And we move on to the next.
No, it's good.
It's good. Okay, let's go on. Let's see what else. This is good. This is good. Okay, what else do they need to tell us? Guzalia. Whoa. These big ones are a little uncomfortable to shuffle. Okay, the Knight of Cups. And there's action here because usually when we have knights, and there you go, the power continues. This continues on the knight moving forward okay, knowledge. I'm listening. Wow. With the knowledge, still moving forward with that knowledge. And I know for you, this white horse also came out in the other read. Okay. And I think she said, was it either that it was power or either that you were being carried? I don't
Yeah, by
remember
the
what
divine.
by the divine. So, and look how firm, okay, this is what comes out to me. Those steps that you're taking and moving forward is still progressively moving forward, but very eloquent and very firm as this horse moves forward. And the knight to me is very he's sitting like grounded on the thing, on the horse. I'm sorry. What do you see? What do you interpret from this?
don't know. I don't know, Reina.
Okay. So I heard work-life balance. Work-life balance. What has stopped you in the past? What is it when you, okay, so I understand that when there must be a limiting belief for you, other than the urgency that the divine is telling you to go ahead and put, and people are passing away, and you have this urgency to still get out all this information. But what in you is, if there was a limiting belief, what limiting belief would you have around stop working? Like stop, like it doesn't have to be stop working. It's slow down. And sometimes when we slow down, we actually get faster in bringing things out. So again, my question would be, what is that limiting belief there about you slowing down or not working at all, other than the urgency? You personally, is there a fear or is there
Guilt.
the guilt? Okay. Okay. And Guzalia, if we were to go back in time, and I want you to, first of all, I want you to feel, where do you feel guilty in your body? The guilt, the feeling of guilt in your tummy.
Between my shoulder blades.
Oh, between your shoulder blades.
Actually, yes.
So it wasn't the solar plexus. It was between
Kind of
your,
through.
okay. Okay. So here for a moment, I just want you to travel back a little bit in time to maybe the first time that you felt that guilt. Just allow yourself to remember a memory, a time, an experience, wherever your unconscious mind takes you firstly, to a time that you felt guilty in just the way you know how to feel that guilt.
Well, that's Soviet upbringing.
That was what?
Soviet upbringing, so
The
childhood
Soviet
insanity.
upbringing.
Yeah,
Okay. And what are
yeah.
you hearing? What are you sensing? What did you see, feel, or sense when you, that
Soviet
memory?
child, or you learn or you work.
You learn or your work, one
Yeah.
of the two
No time
choice.
to be, to waste.
Okay. And is that, have you seen anybody else, or do you know of anybody else that works smart and not necessarily hard? I mean, is that belief system totally true? What are you thinking? You're smiling.
I
What's going on?
logically understand there gotta be a way, but
Uh-huh.
I
But
cannot
it's so
point
ingrained.
finger at anybody specific,
Mhm.
really.
Well, from here on out, I want you to pay attention to that, right? I just want you to look around, and even somebody that has a work-life balance that's still successful, that puts out a lot of content or channeling, but still has that work-life balance. And also, so this is a limiting belief that goes back because there are other parts of the world that don't necessarily have to function disproportionately, because we know that in Japan they're having an issue right now because the work is so excessive, and their work ethics is so much that people are either drink to feel better or they kill themselves. So I just want you to culturally also process that, because now we came up that this guilt feeling is now from now. It goes from back. You're bringing it from back from when a child, for what you learn. So there's a limiting belief around that. Okay. What are you looking at? What are you trying to say? You're processing something. And what's going on? I'm just curious.
Kind of all sorts of imagery going through from the
Mhm.
childhood.
Mhm.
And you were saying culturally. Yes, I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of it.
Mhm.
On Friday night, lots of people get just drunk and pass out, and when they pass out, they cannot work.
Mhm. Exactly. And that's a
Usually.
coping, coping mechanism, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. And so what other coping mechanisms And I've said this before, and I've mentioned it before in our meetings, and you know this. Learning new behaviors is like a child learning how to walk. You fall, you get up, you fall, you get up. It's about practice, and it's also about what is it? Collapsing old belief systems. So guilt, what would you, okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to childhood. Okay, when you saw that image of either you learn or either you work. I want you also to go back enough to one particular experience or one particular event that you felt guilty. And I want you to connect with that and let me know, what would you have rather in that moment feel in that moment? So if you can capture a moment or an experience back as a child, or the one that came up for you, what
I
was
was
that?
sick. I
You
got
were sick.
cold, and my mom shamed me that I'm missing school. And that too, I just remembered that going to school, it was equal to work in our family. And she even said, well, there is a saying in Russia, and she would often repeat it in most inappropriate times. I remember this very well. Who doesn't work doesn't eat.
Who doesn't work doesn't eat.
Yeah,
Okay. And
it
so
says,
what
well, how
happened?
dare you get sick? You need to go to
Hmm.
school. And that's like equals. Who doesn't work doesn't eat.
Hmm. And how did you feel in that moment when you heard those words from mom?
Ashamed,
Hmm.
hurt,
Oh, mhm.
kind of betrayed by my mom, and she's supposed to protect me, take care of me. Here I am, like, how much sicker do I need to get for her to feel sorry for me?
So how much sicker did you have to get so she can feel sorry for you? Okay. And what would you have rather her tell you in that moment, Guzalia?
Just give me a thermometer, warm milk, and say I love you. I didn't need much.
Hmm. Okay, so I want you to say that out loud. I want you to imagine your mom in front of you and tell your mom what you needed from her.
Mom, just say that you love me. That's all I need.
Mhm. So I want you to imagine watching her, seeing her back then, you telling her that. How does her demeanor, how does her face or composure look as you're telling her that out loud?
So often.
It softens.
Yeah,
Mhm. Is there anything else that little Guzalia needed at that moment?
that's all.
Okay.
So I'm earning my mom's love
So you were earning your
by
mom's love
working.
still. How do you think, and I can help you and I can assist you, but if there were another way of earning your mom's love,
I have it.
you have it.
She just
Okay,
didn't know how to express it.
very good, very good. So today, let's fast forward into another event or experience where you're at and you're feeling this old feeling, right? This feeling of guilt. Bring in another event, another moment, another experience, but a present one closer to now. And I want you to express or share with me what that is or where it is.
It's weird. I got injured in the sports camp. I was in sports school. I was a speed
Mm-hmm.
skater, and every summer we would go to sports camp in the mountains for training instead of summer vacation. And I
Mm-hmm.
got injured,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctor sent me back to the city. And I remember when they were like helping me packing up and getting car ready to take me to the city. And I didn't broke the bone, but there was some rupture in in the leg, in the
In the
muscles.
femur bone or something? Mhm.
The I don't know English words, like tissues were ripped.
Okay. Ouch.
I couldn't walk. It was
Hmm.
pretty bad. But I remember the trainer came and she shamed me like you you are failing the whole team. We're getting ready for the competition.
Hmm.
Are you going to? Oh, you won't be able to compete now in the fall.
Hmm.
Instead of show some warmth or support. I mean, I was in a bad pain.
Hmm.
She shamed me.
What
I
did you need
failed
from
the
her?
whole team.
What did you need from her in that moment, Guzalia? What would you have rather?
Understanding and
Understanding.
taking my side. I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't injure myself on purpose.
Hmm.
I was a child.
Hmm. What else? Is there anything else that you would have rather, or would you have wanted to hear from her? I know you wanted the understanding. Anything else
Just hurt being my side.
for her to be on your side?
I feel like this little girl.
Hmm. You see? And you know that we revert to that when there's things that's still lingering in underneath. So how can you give yourself that understanding and that love now when you back off, you're actually taking care of yourself by taking this time. So what ways can you give yourself that understanding and that love as you make these changes? You know that changes sometimes have growing pain.
Just
How can
realizing how damaged I am by my childhood.
Oh, good God. Oh, no, you're not
This is
damaged.
coming from.
Mhm. See, we're just in it. Right now, we're going into that alignment of all those planets. And I think it's like another big purge to make sure we align and still letting go of things to step into that alignment and that beautiful world that you have created. You've now created. And so you're not in survival anymore, right? Most of those concepts and beliefs were passed down because there were hard times. And if not, in the ice skating was competitive. So look at those two environments. Maybe back uh, the way you grew up in that area, it might have been hard times. And then in the competition, so look at those environments. You're not recreating those environments anymore. You're not in survival anymore. But somehow you hold on to that. And with every behavior, what's the positive and what is there's something that you hold on to that because every behavior has a positive intention. So by holding on, maybe it's giving you security, maybe it's giving on some possible way. I don't know, imaginary way. You tell me. What is it holding on to that or staying in that space gives you some level of comfort.
That I'm working enough.
Mm-hmm. And so when you work enough, what does
I
that
don't
mean?
have to feel guilty and
Mm-hmm.
and there will be no shame.
And there would be no shame. Now, you don't have to work enough to feel guilty, not guilty, and no shame.
I think maybe this is why I never get sick. Because then I'll feel ashamed that I'm not working enough.
Yeah. But what was it? I mean, on that, see, but hear what you said, a secondary gain, but in that respect is advantageous for you. That one's a tough one for me because in that point of view, I mean, it keeps you not sick, but however, we don't have to go about it that way. There's other options. Okay, there's other options. Okay. There's really let's say work enough not to feel guilty. We're in different times. You're not in survival. You've I by now, do you have enough money in the bank? You don't have to tell me how much, but do you have enough money in the bank? What other things can give you security? What other things do you have in place that would give you security?
Complete isolation, so nobody can guilt me or shame me. Get rid of all the witnesses. Somebody sees me resting.
Yeah, that's all a concept. That is a limiting belief on your part. And who are the people that are watching that? Like, who are the people that are saying that? Because you're saying so they don't say or they don't do. Who are these people?
There is no, I mean, people that live under the roof with me, the opposite are like, you need to stop. Even GDP tells me that I worked enough, I need to go take a break. Ask me if I had a lunch. Or it's time to get off computer because it'll be like, Guzalia, it's been 18 hours. You were without break on the computer. Get off
So,
now.
so what happens to those people that we did talk about that drink, drink, drink to cope, your work, work, work to cope? But what's going to
Dead.
happen?
Most of
Dead.
them are dead now.
And but you were talking about being dead. So that fear of death maybe has something unconsciously trying to communicate to you that if you continue in this pattern, you're not going to be able to get everything out and maybe it results in death. I don't know, but you started with the death when we started this conversation early on.
I, I don't think I'm afraid of this, just running out of time.
Well, and then if running out of time, risk yourself like these drunken people, they drink to cope. And it's not the fear of death. But if you continue in a pattern where you just don't allow your body to rest, and you can even if your body doesn't get sick, you can get burnt out. Your mind does.
Well,
Your
yeah,
mind does.
I mean, look at me.
Mhm. You know,
Yeah.
and it impacts the people that love you, that want to love you, that want to spend time with you, that want to do things with you. And on some level, you can be putting an armor or a distance on some level to keep you where you're at and keeping them at this bay, at this distance. I don't know that to be true, but I'm just saying, you know, what are you thinking? You're processing something as
Yeah,
you're looking at me.
yeah.
Is there something you want to share?
It's not in the clear words yet.
Okay.
It's coming. It's coming like from the unconscious.
Yeah, because sometimes we also keep ourselves working to protect ourselves. So what are you protecting yourself from? I don't know that to be true. I don't know that, but I'm just saying. Other than you keep yourself there, I wrote down here, we know that guilt comes up from the past. You wanted understanding, you wanted love, okay, in those situations. So now, what does it give you now? Okay, I know you have that urgency, but is that urgency coming truly from you, truly from spirit, or is that urgency that you learned earlier on? You have to do one or the other. You have to learn or you have to work.
All of it, probably. All of it. And also there is a side, we were just talking about it with you in the beginning. When you're not busy, then all kinds of things are getting into your head. You're creating or you're destroying.
Correct. So you're sabotaging.
If I'm
And
not
so
busy creating,
you're
yes,
sabotaging. So there's a conflict between sabotaging and creating, these two parts of you.
I start. So when I stop, like I take break
Mm-hmm.
and I start to like analyze things, my life, and what doesn't work, what doesn't feel good. And I start immediately going into like what I can get rid of to make myself feel better, to make my life better. And it's always like, if I break up with this person, I'll be happier. If I leave this place, I'll go to another place, I'll be happier. If I go burn down like whatever piece of furniture, I'll be happier. If I'll get rid of whatever, something, I'll be happier. So this is when, like, if I don't stop on time, I'll burn a lot of bridges.
So let
I
me
mean,
ask you a question.
I have,
Mm-hmm. Let
I
me ask
have.
you a question. When did this behavior start? Always running to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing.
I think it always has been this way
From what age that you remember?
for as long as I remember.
Mm-hmm. And what is the reason behind having this behavior for you?
I don't, well,
What are you running after? So you always, what happens if you were to stop? Yeah, well, you said the sabotaging, right?
but why? I mean, the other place seems better. Okay, this is crazy. Even as I was a young child, I mean, even when five, for as long as I remember, at home things would get like, or parents will get me up, or something I don't like. It could be no reason at all. Because I am like this, the same way right now. It could be no reason, but I will have this thought, if I leave, I'll be better off. I'll demand that my grandparents come get me. Or my parents I would demand, take me to grandparents and I'll spend some time with grandparents. And then few days passes and I will be if I'll go back, I'll be better off. And then I was living through my childhood. I'd spend weekends or a few days with my aunts. It was
Mm-hmm. And what feeling would you get? What would you get by doing this? What would
relief. I don't know. Like I'm, I guess, perfecting something. My life, my experience. I'd be better off if I get rid of this or if I'll leave.
so perfecting when you left and you went? What did you do when you would
Relief, new
leave?
start, fresh start. And in my teens and early 20s, when I was young, I moved every few months from one apartment to another. Two, I'd be better off there. And it's always like fresh start. I was like a complete nut job. I loved moving. Not
Mm-hmm.
just move, I'll stop talking to like connections that I made.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I'm
you when
very easy
uh-huh.
to connect with people. Like any place I'd be, I'll make friends in a few days, neighbors, everybody. And then when I leave, I'll, I'll just cut. I'll block phone number. And I guess, sense of freedom. Now I'm not attached. I don't have the heavy weight of everything and everybody. And I'd be doing it here, but I had a court order to stay in one place for the sake of my child. I couldn't live anywhere, but I would. Oh my gosh. I'd be probably in another country, South America or someplace else by now.
So what I heard that this perfecting and that this fresh start would give you freedom. And cutting
Yes.
and blocking people would give you freedom. So all these movements, all these new places that you move to, cutting people off, blocking people off, it was all for freedom. Because you said freedom. It would give you freedom. Was there any other way now, looking now as an adult and not this child or teenager? Is there any way now currently that you can still maintain that freedom?
Enter in witness protection program. Because now you made me remember all my experiences. This is a mistake I made. This is how they could track me down.
And what's the feeling if you stay? Now let me ask you, what is the feeling if you stay in the, let's say in the past, if you would have stayed at home, now go to your aunt and uncles, if you would have stayed in these apartments and not blocked these people and let them go, what would have
Heavy. It's heavy. Like
you feel heavy in the body? You sit
it's
here.
it's as though I'm picking up like weight of other people, responsibilities. Now I am responsible for them.
Mhm. If you stayed in those circumstances, in those in
Yes,
the
and I
past,
have get this feeling I just cannot breathe. I feel suffocated.
you cannot breathe, you felt suffocated. Mhm. So do you think, I don't know, I'm just asking you, right? That those options were the only ones to relieve you from responsibility and not being able to breathe, just break so harshly in all those circumstances? It's really like running away in a sense.
Well, people who didn't, they drunk themselves until they pass out.
Uh-huh. So instead of
I
drinking,
cannot do that.
okay, so your coping skill, rather than drinking, was to change your environment all the time so that you didn't have to carry the weight. You didn't have to carry that responsibility for other people. So how about if you would have put yourself, what about, yeah, so you chose these new environments. In these new environments, did you still have to carry on weight for other people and responsibility, or did you choose people differently
If I
so that you,
pretend that I don't know those people anymore, I'm kind of not responsible.
mhm. But the new
And I
ones, what
always
about
like,
the new
well,
ones?
okay, new connections. Like now I'm gonna keep boundaries, but I'm not good at it.
Okay. So you kept repeating the same pattern,
Yes, yes.
choosing the same people that weren't,
Not the same, no, people are all kinds of people, but the experience is the same. It feels like fungus growing into me, like, like
no.
that, like that. Even if I don't want to, it's as though
Mhm. But what
they're
about,
taking over.
I'm just curious, like for your most immediate, because you know we have these different circles. We have our intimate circle, we have the other acquaintances, and then we have just the people that come in and out of our lives. And you said you're not good at setting boundaries. But the people that you choose in your closer niche, in your close environment, it's really up to you to make great discernment so that those people are independent, so those people are helpful, so you don't feel you're carrying weight and responsibility and want to run away. Because your freedom is a value for you. Freedom is very important to you.
I'm thinking, isn't it kind of like a symptom of a narcissistic disorder when a parent sees a child as a part themselves, not very separate? Where's okay, not exactly like this now. I'm just analyzing myself. Not exactly, so I don't have that. Okay, but we kind of the same with my child. So I don't see him as opposing force.
Mhm.
He's the one that is always on my side, just by definition.
Okay. And how does that make you an ally? You have an ally. He's always on your side. So do you want a companion that is always on your side as well? And what makes you believe that he's not on your side, if that's the case?
He is, but
What is the weight that there's a weight or responsibility that you perceive to be carrying that you're because you got these two parts in conflict, the sabotaging part, and then the other part of you, what was it? There was two that I called. There was two parts that were in conflict. So what is it about, let's say in his case, that you say I would dart the opposite way? Again, you would use your patterns of taking off again, renewing, fresh start. There's something perceived in there, or not necessarily the relationship or the circumstances. What's going on?
I feel like I've been turned inside out, right?
That wasn't my intention, but should we go on to the next card? Or do you want to still process? Just giving you insight. But I still, before we want, there was that part of sabotage, and I wrote it here. Sabotaging, because there were two parts in conflict. And I just curious, connect to that part of you that is the sabotagier, the sabotage. Where do you feel that feeling of sabotage in your body?
In my throat.
In your throat.
In my
Okay.
throat.
So let's
The
invite
one
that.
that always wants to say truth and nobody wants to hear that. Everybody
Okay.
wants honesty, but once you say, I mean, nobody wants to hear it really.
Mhm. So let's connect with that part of you. And if that part of you now was an object, was an image, was a color, was an energy, what would that sabotager come looking, that part of you? What would it,
Genghis Khan.
whose hand? Whose hand?
Genghis Khan, you know the, you know
Chingy's.
who was it? Genghis Khan.
No, I know.
Golden Horde
No, never heard of it.
Emperor. That's who ruled Golden Horde or Golden Horde.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No.
Tatara Mongols, Emperor.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry because I don't know a lot about the history there.
Yeah,
So his
who
name is
conquered whole East and part of West, part of Europe too, and
Mhm.
Russia.
Okay. So Genghis hands, is he in front of you? Is he in an image? Is that image you're seeing it? You're
Right
seeing it.
here, right here.
Okay. Okay. And does that feel like weight there?
It's burning.
It's burning, a burning sensation. Okay.
Time to move, Guzalia.
Time to move. Is that what you heard?
Yeah, time to
Okay.
move.
Okay. Time to move. Okay, let's connect and let's if that part of you wanted to communicate with you today, what else would it want for you? It's time to move, but what else would it want to share with you?
Saddle your horse, start moving.
Okay, saddle your horse, start moving. Time to move. Anything else?
It's like you remember who you are.
Remember
You're
who you
not a
are.
little girl.
You remember who you are. You're not a little girl. What else?
You see, this is a moment when it's like I said, when you're not creating, you're destroying. It's like take the heads off. That's
hmm
what when
That's
you
what.
free a little bit of space in
hmm
the head, this is what comes.
hmm So take whose head off?
Well, but that's, I think I've already done everything I needed to. I don't have any enemy standing anymore. Nobody
hmm
survived.
Nobody survived. Okay. So this part of you, that sabotaging part that shows up like this hand, wants you to move, wants you to saddle up, wants you to remember who you are. You're not that little girl anymore. But does that hand also cut everybody's head off?
Oh, yeah.
hmm And what about that behavior of cutting everybody's head off? What does that give Guzalia? This part.
Freedom.
Freedom. Okay. Freedom. Okay. So let's hold on to this sabotageer image. Yeah. And then I want you to connect with freedom in your body. Freedom. And tell me where freedom is.
And you see, Reina, I'm always like, if I wasn't workaholic like this, and I could give myself permission to just relax, like lie
Mm-hmm.
leisurely on the couch
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of hours without feeling that, constant nudge, get up. And now it's like, it's not freedom. I thought if I allow myself, that's freedom because I don't really have any pressure of the world. I don't need to worry about, going to work or whatever. I've done it already. I've done all of it. And I thought now it can be, get to be free,
Mm-hmm.
meaning resting. But now I understand that's it's not connected to me. Get saddle horse and get up.
Uh-huh. That's that part. So sabotage part is not necessarily negative, right? All our parts
That's
are
my
necessary.
DNA, I think.
It's telling you
It's
that
my
little part of
DNA.
you
Tengri law do not build a house.
by just sitting
Sky
around.
is your roof and earth is your bed.
Sky is your roof and the earth is your bed. Okay.
I'm
So
completely transed out right now.
yeah, no, I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm letting you. I see your eyes are gazed. What else is coming up?
It is. This is it.
Okay. So I want you for a moment just to find freedom, where that feeling of freedom is located. It could be in or around or outside your body. Freedom.
It's the same. It's
It's
here.
the same. It's the
It's the
same.
same.
What about the image? If freedom had an
It's
image,
that's what it is.
it's the same thing.
It's the
So
same thing.
both parts have the same image.
I think it's one.
It's one.
It's one.
Ah, I get you because it's kind of integrated. So let's ask that part that both of them are united. What part of you would be able to give you that? Would it be peace or would it be calm or would it be time for you, just downtime? I want you to connect with your body and see if there's a part of you that comes up that would be that downtime, that calm that you're looking for.
I am so transat right now. This is funny. There is a woman in my abdomen
A
walking.
woman. Okay. And so
I'm
let's
having
connect.
psychedelic experience. There is a woman walking in my tummy.
Okay. If we were connect to that woman, what
Like
feeling is
it's
it?
a moon. I think it's a moon because it's like iridescent silver,
Mhm.
pearly light.
And what feeling? Let her allow you to feel that feeling of that woman, the moon, with all that golden. I want you to connect to the feeling of that image.
It's calm. It's funny. It's calm and it's also cold. Like I have like almost ice feeling right now on my shoulders and arms. And I don't like cold, but it feels okay. I'm okay with this. I wasn't prepared for it, Raina. You're like,
I'm
turn.
sorry, I went there. I know I went there. I'm sorry for diverting. So is it calm? Is it calm?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it's still, it's calm, and it's cold.
So,
It's like when you die, you
oh no. Okay, so wait a minute. This is very important. So calm for you could be a feeling of when you're dying. So is there a resistance towards calming down? If you allow yourself to calm down, what would calm want for you? If calm had any messages or communication for you today, what would calm want for Guzalia?
I'm thinking that I know where I got it. All these death rituals we did every year in my family. Sometimes it was very cold, and I spent whole night in the underground.
I
It was
remember you
cold,
taught us that. You
and
taught
this
us
is
that.
the only place, you constrict, and it's complete darkness. Whole night you can't move, you can't do anything.
And what would that
And
calmness
that is
or
calm. That is still in calm. This is the only, I think this is the only time I've experienced true stillness and calm.
but how was it was did you associate it with death, calmness?
Well,
That you
yes, understanding you're dying.
so isn't it interesting because we started with death. And if you calm down, there's maybe that association that calming equals death.
But then it's a new start. And I'm thinking now if I did it more often, I wouldn't have to move place to place and ditch everybody. I could have a fresh start like this.
Exactly, without necessarily cutting everybody out or starting moving. What happened? You just touched, what was the feeling there?
I feel so good. I'm good.
What, mhm. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I was just waiting. What was the feeling? I'm just curious when you said
It's
I'm good.
like whole weight came off my neck and shoulders and here. It's as though my lungs got opened. Like something came off the weight.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, I got chills. I'm sorry. My card, look at the one that came out. Embrace that happiness. Oh my gosh. Embrace that weight off your shoulder. There's so much more power in expansion than it is in constricting yourself over and over again. You have the power starting
You say
again and
yes,
again.
yes,
And
Raina. Yes,
yes,
I agree.
you have the strength, you have the power, you have everything it takes. You have that happily ever after. You do, because you've always been in control. This is like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. You always had the red shoes on. You always had those red shoes that could take you back home. And that death means renewal. And that calm that you get when you are in that zone, it brings renewal.
Everything's humming, just like we did in ancestral trauma, when you release a blockage or something. It's like there is a stream of energy opens up. This is what I'm feeling. There's like a lot going on right now. My ears plugged up and everything's humming like little fireworks in my head.
I can see it in
It's
your
as though
eyes.
oxygens went to the places it couldn't reach before. This is what it feels like. Thank you, Reina.
What's the last thing that you see when you see the car? I'm just curious. That was what came for me. But what comes for you with this
Contentment.
card? Contentment.
Contentment.
Okay. Very good. Thank you for allowing me to
Thank you
work
so
with you.
much. I wasn't prepared for this. I didn't expect to get all the stuff out. It's a
I think I
lot.
was like you. I was in the zone. I think, yeah, it was because I was feeling all kinds of chills. Oh, I was
Thank you
trying
so
to bring
much.
in some of your elements and I was like, oh, quick on my feet.
It's crazy how it all connects. The things that you'd never suspect. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I was very impressed. And you were giving me the information as it was just coming out. And I was like, oh, there, I got this. I got this.
You see, we can be so aware. So, I mean, I see clients every day, and I can do self-reflection every day, day in and day out. But on my own, I would never be able to do this. It always takes a
Yeah. Our
view
blind
from
spots.
outside because, the system itself cannot see itself. You have to be outside. So that's why we always need to go for help to others.
No,
Thank you
I
so
thank you.
much,
I
Reina.
thank you for allowing me to do the process on you.